Now, despite dire warnings from China, Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen met with US House Speaker Kevin McCarthy in California. With this, McCarthy has become one of the most senior US officials to meet a Taiwanese leader on US soil since 1979. Standing alongside McCarthy, Tsai said that it is no secret that today the peace that they have maintained and the democracy which they've worked hard for are facing unprecedented challenges.
Their presence and unwavering support reassure the people of Taiwan that we are not isolated and we are not alone. However, it is no secret that today the peace that we have maintained and the democracy which have worked hard to build are facing unprecedented challenges.
Calling Taiwan a great friend of America, McCarthy emphasized on how the friendship between the people of Taiwan and America is a matter of profound importance to free the world.
Well, my first message to China, there's no need for retaliation. But the one thing I would say to China, too, at no time, I am the Speaker of the House. There's no place that China is going to tell me and where I can go or who I can speak to, whether you be foe or whether you be friend.
China has condemned the latest meet. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has issued a statement which reads, and I'm quoting here, in response to the seriously erroneous acts of collusion between the United States and Taiwan, China will take resolute and effective measures to safeguard national sovereignty and territorial integrity. The Chinese Foreign Ministry asserted on how Tsai's visit to the U.S. transit gravely violated the One China principle, further emphasizing on how U.S. officials are giving Tsai a platform to make separatist remarks seeking Taiwan's independence. In the latest, Taiwan's defense ministry has said that 1 Chinese aircraft and 3 warships had been detected around the self-ruled island. China's Fujian Maritime Safety Administration has also launched a 3-day special joint patrol and inspection operation. In the central and northern parts of the Taiwan Strait, Taiwan's Transport Ministry has lodged a strong protest with China about the move and has also notified relevant shipping operators that if they encounter such requests from China, they should refuse them and immediately notify Taiwan's Coast Guard to render assistance. Washington has meanwhile urged China to show restraint regarding Tsai-McCarthy meet.
Our channels of communications are open, and we have had a consistent message that has urged restraint. And in recent days, we have conveyed directly to the Chinese at high levels that escalation is uncalled for. And so we'll continue to keep those channels of conversations open.
Now, the United States acknowledges One China policy in which Beijing lays claim to Taiwan, but it does not endorse China's claim to the island and remains Taiwan's key provider of military and defense assistance. Now, for more on this, we're joined by Paul Huang from Kaohsiung City, Taiwan. Thank you so much for joining us. Paul is a research fellow at Taiwanese Public Opinion Foundation and a senior journalist. My first question to you, President Tsai's meet with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has irked China. China has warned of resolute response as well. How do you assess the Tsai-McCarthy meet?
Well, China is always going to threaten retaliation against any high-level U.S.-Taiwan meetings, but with this trip to the U.S. or transit, as many call it, President Tsai met with the House Speaker, who doesn't represent the U.S. executive branch. So and this is on U.S. soil. Remember that the last August, China responded very aggressively to former House Speaker, then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit in Taiwan to Taiwan. But this is on U.S. soil, so I don't think this moved the goalposts, at least not as much as Pelosi's visit last year. And from what has been reported, we know President Tsai has not, nor is she going to meet with any high-level executive branch U.S. official, Biden administration official this time around. So I think the Chinese, they will do their usual maneuvers, but it's not going to be something that is that change the picture dramatically.
All right. Well, then, on that note, China's Fujian Maritime Safety Administration also launched a 3-day special joint patrol and inspection operation. Taiwan says 1 Chinese aircraft and 3 warships detected around the island. Do you see this as an escalation? How do you see this unfolding?
Well, as a matter of fact, these activities, Chinese military air and naval activities around Taiwan Strait, around the Bashi Channel, the Philippine Seas, East China Sea, they have been increasing over the last decade, especially intensifying the last several years. And I think that had more to do with the rising power of China's military. And because they have been growing their muscle and they are now showing their muscle, it's really not a response to these kind of Taiwanese gesture with the US. They might use it as an excuse to escalate a little bit, but the bottom line is this has been happening. This is not in response to or nor caused by her visit to the US or McCarthy's meeting with her. The underlying fundamentals pointed out that this is going to continue regardless of what Taiwan's leader or US official do.
Right. That being said, with this meet, what sort of further cooperation, if any, can we see between the United States and Taiwan?
Well, as a defense analyst and commentator, I strongly believe that the United States should pressure Taiwan's government to reform its military in the greatest way possible, because the Taiwan's military right now is not has significant problem institutionally, organizationally, and in terms of its training. That is one thing the United States can actually push Taiwan to pressure Taiwan to change. And also the weapons that Taiwan ordered from the United States, I think they need to review. Some of those items, they really don't make sense, because they're going to get destroyed if there is actually a war happening. China is going to strike first, and they're going to take out some of the weapons and platforms that Taiwan purchased easily. And then it's not just the right weapon they need to be purchased, but the way that they U.S. weapons delivery to Taiwan have been backlogged, delayed in a very significant way because of the war in Ukraine. Many of the weapons that Taiwan ordered from the U.S., the Stinger missiles, the Javelins, they have been delayed for years and not yet delivered. If the U.S. is actually seriously committed to Taiwan, helping with Taiwan's defense, the number one thing to do to make sure that the delivery of the weapons ordered and paid for by Taiwan are delivered on time.
All right. Mr. Paul Wang, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast with your insights on this.
Thank you for having me.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.